Good morning, students. Today we are going to read the lecture number 10 in the subject of the history O levels on the topic of the important questions in the history syllabus. So concentrate yourself. We are going to start. Important questions are going to be covered in these lectures. So the first important question for the today is, what is a presidential system? When president is the sole authority and he has all the powers to make and amend the laws. He alone rules the government. The constitution under him is presidential. So this is called presidential system, in which the president is the pivot in the all affairs of the country. The next important question is, what is diarchy or bicameral legislature? It is a two-house system in the central or provincial assemblies, out of which one is the upper house, that is called Senate, and the other is the lower house, that is called National Assembly. So this is called bicameral legislature or diarchy. So two houses work for the affairs of the country. The upper house has more powers than the lower house. Any bill could not be passed without the consent of both the houses. The next important question for today is, what was PRODA Act? The Public and the Representative Officers Dequalification Act. So this is the full form of the PRODA, the Public and Representative Officers Disqualification Act, was introduced during the Governor Generalship of the Khwaja Nizamuddin in 1951. It was an act for the debarring from public offices of the suitable period of persons judicially found guilty of the misconduct in any public office or any representative capacity in any matter. So the powers were in the hands of the Governor General through this act. He could remove any public office holder. So anyone found guilty under PRODA Act was debarred from the office. The next important question for today is, what was the one unit policy or the Bogra formula? In November 1954, Bogra was the ruler of the Pakistan, had proposed that the 4 provinces and 10 princely states within Pakistan should be joined together to form West Pakistan. This order was passed on 5th October 1955. Mirza claimed that the unification would bring about greater efficiency and enable more rapid development. However, this scheme was highly unpopular in East Pakistan and was also opposed in the individual provinces of the West Pakistan. So, most peoples were against the opinion, but this formula was passed. The next important question for today is, what was the U2 affair? Pakistan, which had gone under USA influence by signing Seato and Cento. So these were the agreements which Pakistan had signed, and these were against the Russian bloc. So Pakistan gone into the influence of the USA influence by signing these treaties. It allowed them to use their base for spying American flew U2 mission over USSR from Badaber. Badaber is an area in Peshawar city. It flew over 75,000 feet height, which was beyond USSR radars. However, they brought down U2 and captured its pilot. USSR became very angry and threatened Pakistan to blow up Peshawar. Pakistan's relations with USSR improved when Peshawar Air Base was closed. The next important question for today is, what was the Operation Fair Play? On 5th July 1977, armed army led by Chief of the Army Staff General Ziaul Haq staged a coup named Operation Fair Play. It seemed the constitutional government of the Prime Minister Zulfikar Ali Bhutto had ended. He was arrested and charges were levied on him. He declared martial law and announced elections in 90 days. However, like any dictator, went back on his words and ruled for 11 years as a dictator. So this was the Operation Fair Play. The next important question for today is, who was Malik Ghulam Muhammad Khan? Ghulam Muhammad was capable civil servant who was the finance minister in Liaquat Ali Khan's government. So he was a very able civil servant who was working with Liaquat Ali Khan's government. However, on the death of the Liaquat Ali Khan in 1951, he was nominated as third Governor General and Khwaja Nizamuddin became Prime Minister. He ruled till 1955. The next important question for today is, who was Khwaja Nizamuddin? On the 14th September 1948, Khwaja Nizamuddin took over as Governor General of Pakistan. Nizamuddin was a dedicated leader of the Muslim League and had remained Chief Minister of the East Pakistan. He was a upright and talented politician. As Governor General, Nizamuddin remained in background and gave full powers to Liaquat Ali Khan to run the country. He remained Governor General for 3 years till the assassination of the Liaquat Ali Khan. Then he became Prime Minister and ran the administration till 1953. Governor General Ghulam Muhammad dismissed Khwaja Nizamuddin on charges of the food shortages and economic conditions. Nizamuddin always had national interest in running the country during the time of the Khwaja Nizamuddin. Several important measures were taken. He made the Basic Principles Committee. So he was a very dedicated and loving personality. The next important question for today is, what was the 8th Amendment? In 1973, a new constitution was set up with the Prime Minister who was in total control of the country. The President became a ceremonial head of the state. Thus, there was no balance in the constitution to avoid any political crisis. So again, a disbalanced system was created in Pakistan. General Ziaul Haq agreed to hold elections and give powers to politicians by lifting martial law, and 8th Amendment will be passed. It gave powers to the President and the Prime Minister became the puppet. This act gave total control to Zia. All his illegal actions were ignored. The President could also dismiss the Prime Minister and National Assembly under the 8th Amendment made in 1984. And you can see all the powers were in the hands of the President, who was Ziaul Haq at that time. The next important question for today is, what is the 13th Amendment? Nawaz Sharif, after becoming Prime Minister in his prime time, introduced the 13th Amendment. It took away the powers of the President to dismiss the Prime Minister and National Assembly. The President lost the power to dismiss the Prime Minister and National Assembly. The President also lost the power to appoint the service chiefs and provincial governors. President became a ceremonial head again. So a tug of war game was going to be played in Pakistan. So again, powers came into the hands of the Prime Minister now, and the President became the ceremonial head again. This measure was supported by all, since 8th Amendment had undermined political stability in the country. So this was the lecture, students. I hope so this will be much more easier and interesting for you to understand and learn. So read this lecture again, understand it, learn it, and make your notes. Thank you so much.